Thanks for staying with us. So we talked a lot about the elections, what happened, but now we're going to be talking about the president-elect and what Nigerians are expecting, that what they hope he does. He's mentioned about the youth and what he hopes to bring young people together and to listen to them loud and clear. What are expectations of the new president-elect, and what would you like him to do going forward?
One of the highlights for me was the youth plan, the no more ASU strike plan.
Yeah.
So one of the devils that issues that bedeviled this administration was the continuous rolling over of ASU issues. And I wanted the president who is coming into office with a clear-cut plan, someone who says, this is how it will go. So he's not using it as a campaign plan. This is after he has won elections. He's saying, one of this particular issue, I will not allow it again. So my assistant was with me and she was like, well, because I'm tired of this. This is what made me even turn up, end up an assistant, and the issues of continuous. And then she talked about the strikes, and then she talked about the issue of handouts. She said that handouts, for him to have talked about end of a handouts was something that it means that he knows exactly what Nigerian students suffer in school. So I don't support that handout method. We had a lecturer who came in from Harvard who took us public law, I think constitutional law. And the first thing he did was, why don't I have your emails? Why do you guys not have my emails? Back then, the last one, all the other class just, because we had to go and be printing something, to photocopy something. So we were used to that method. And if somebody is coming into office today and gives us that ray of light, that for me is encouraging. That I welcome any day, anytime. But this might also mean certain tightening of belt. This could also mean that we'll start to do student loans and all of that. But let Nigerians start to open their minds, because we open our minds when we cross the border to do student loan and expensive fees. We call it foreign education. But if it comes here, it's local education. It should be done anyhow.
Exactly.
So if it is one of the methods to solving it, let's know how to do it. I was a student when Asiwaju was governor, and no Lagosian in last student paid school fees. They brought the indigenship interviews. They brought the free education. And I remember hating my own state because I
for not doing it for you.
Yes, all the way to law school. By the time I was in law school, Fashola was a first-term governor. They took care of Lagosians. We saw the checks. Even Kogi took care of their people, but they don't.
No, the North has always done that.
They do
it. They pay bursary.
They didn't pay bursary. When we had the issue of Boko Haram attacks, they used aero contractors to bring their people back to Lagos. You just have to show an ID card or you resident here, and they help people. But they happen from our side. I don't know why.
Right.
But this sort of lifts my spirit that this is someone who has always known how students feel and knows what to do. For him to have created free education in the university in last student, I know that he knows exactly what the plan is.
So, what are your thoughts?
So for me, I just looked at it yesterday. I said, after all said and done, here we are today. We have a new president-elect.
Yes.
And then, I looked at the person of the president-elect, what gives me confidence, and for me, one of the things that's very important for Nigeria right now is someone who will be able to unify us. Yeah. There's been lots of, back and forth across different ethnicities. Some people have said, religious, but I feel that he represents someone who is quite, I don't know if the word is mainstream. He has that personality to be able to unify Nigerians. And also, his speech also came across to me as someone who understands that it's not about gloating. It is not about making sure I'm going to show you, because we have had someone who mentioned when he became president, I know that only 5% of you voted for me and many people voted from this, and I have seen it, but this person is saying, even for those who did not vote me, I recognize that, but I'm willing to work with you, all of us. And for me, that is very important. We are looking forward to seeing a very diverse, cabinet when he sets it up. And this is someone that I've lived in Lagos State now nearly, I don't know if it's up to 15 years, but, almost that. And every governor and every, this is a northerner now coming in, telling you how it's done everywhere else. And I'm seeing Lagos and I'm seeing continuity, I'm seeing development. When my mom comes to visit, she says, now for this Lagos. Anytime I come, something new has come up. Something is different.
Like Dubai.
If you go to my state, I'm sorry, if you left in 1983, you're likely to find the same. You will not be, you know, you will not get lost. So I feel that I'm going to see that on a wider scale. I feel that also he will serve as a mentor and a form of encouragement for others to do better. Everybody wants to come to Lagos, set up business in Lagos, raise up family in Lagos. I hope that this would mean that, you know, in various states, Plateau State, Taraba State, I want to see an improvement in those states. Those states can feed the whole of Nigeria.
Yes.
The insecurity that happens in those places is so sad, and I hope that, you know, this is someone that can stir up confidence for Nigerians to, you know, be unified, united, and better economy for us.
What are your thoughts on what you hope that the new president-elect does?
Please, you should give us light. I want 24 hours power supply, and I want Nigerians to be open to paying for the power supply that we get. I know that it will get worse before it gets better. This subsidy everybody's talking about, when they remove it, fuel will likely get up to 800. But we need to be patient, because when the market forces stabilize, then it will come down. But we would have a bit of that, you know, tightening our belt, because it will not just overnight. You know, we are always expecting a miracle in this part of the world. Let the person just enter, so the next minute everything is good. We will go through that process. Are we ready for that process? So I want the fact, I don't want university students to be at home anymore. We're tired of the ASU strike. If you get admission to study a 4-year course, please do your 4 years and live there. I also want to see a lot of private public partnership with industries, factories, so that young people can deploy their hands to work. I know that Lagos State naturally has a lot of trainings for people, vocations and all that. I want to see it on a global scale. And not just vocations. When you're done with the vocation, there should be factories that are willing to take you. So the government now needs to start having conversation with factories, with manufacturers, with you know, different companies, so that there's a ready market to assimilate young people who finish up these vocations. I want power given to our vocations. Right. We don't have, if you need an electrician, you have to get somebody from Ghana. You need a plumber, you have to get somebody from Cotonou. You need, you know, we don't have people who pay attention to that. And because these jobs have been sort of minimized to look like it's for poor people. Let's put glory into our handwork right now. I want the team to start working on things like that. Let Nigerians be proud of the work that they do. That's what I want.
I have confidence that this is a man also who understands how to put people in the right spaces. You have heard this many times, people who have worked in Lagos especially, who will say, this is a mentor I've had for many years. He saw me, he headhunted me because of these certain skills. And then we see that thing actually reflect in the person's work. I mean, it's someone who can headhunt a fashola that has become like a beacon of, you know, everything can be done well in governance. And so that gives me confidence that this is someone who will do right by our people, by putting those who can where they can do well for our country.
What I want to see from the new president-elect is a strengthening of the judiciary, and also the ensuring that the issue caused about state policing, restructuring somewhat. And the reason is because when law enforcement is actually enforced, corruption reduces automatically. The reason why corruption seems to be rife in some areas is because we don't deploy technology to be able to fish out corrupt people. We also don't have enough. The judiciary spends a long time in prosecuting and ensuring justice is served. So a lot of people just take advantage of the system. So I would really like for the incoming president to do a lot to strengthen our judiciary, to ensure that justice is not delayed, therefore not being perceived as denied. And therefore people must have trust. And that's when people see that, they begin to trust the system. And then every other thing you do will be easier. You can now build on that. Buhari has done a lot of physical structure, of infrastructure. Now it's time for the new president-elect to build on that and do more soft skills, more soft embracing the social, getting more people believing.
Human capital.
Yes, women capital is part of it, but also getting people to believe in the system, believe in the party.
Nigerians don't believe in this country.
They don't believe in Nigeria anymore.
We need the president to
to stir up that love.
To change mindsets. I don't know how Nigerians, everywhere they go, once a Nigerian entire boss go Ghana, come back, he will start cursing. He will start saying, what did Nigeria do for me? Which Nigeria? And all of that. So I was in that space a week or two before during elections, I was still trying to, my children, this 10 and 6, both of them, know better about elections because the conversation were forcefully had at home. We kept talking about the Nigeria, the land, the people, the culture, the language, why you have to love this place. And we need a president that will wake up the National Orientation Agency again and they will start to work. I don't want a National Orientation Agency that is under the Ministry of Information and they are already the ones answering for the president. Their job is clear-cut. Leave the special advisor on media and all of that for that business. Let Lai Mohammed work, not Intashio Gariba's work under this administration.
Don't mix it.
Let them not mix. So Nigerians need to love the Nigerian dream. We need to own the land. We need to love the people. And that's one of the things I pulled from his campaign when he was having his town hall, different from the regular town halls. He met the artisans. He met farmers. He went down. So he has a plan in agriculture. And Mama Olu and myself were saying, let there be food. Let us not suffer. Let fish not spoil. You know, let there be food. Let Nigerians start to be able to eat Nigeria. Let's love this place.
And also,
talking about that, you know, one of the things we also talk about is rural and grassroots development. See, if we're going to see real major change has to happen there. So I don't know, you know, we always talk about it that we always expect the presidency to do everything, but I'm hoping that he will instill some sort of, motivate some sort of change in attitude at the grassroots level. Let Nigerians at the grassroots, the true Nigerians, feel the government. Government should not be far from people, and will not be far from people, as you said, agriculturally, security. We don't want to have situations that, you know, that we have gone through in the past many years now. We want a change. We want government to be there, government that understands the local problems and understands the local issues and how to, you know, solve them using our local and our local ways, and our local resources. I would like to see that. I agree with you, to a working and responsible judiciary. That's so very important.
All right, so another thing that came to mind while you were talking is the health system, the medical tourism. I would like for the president-elect to begin to see how we can reduce this medical tourism. Many people are relocating because they feel that they're not fully encouraged financially in Nigeria as medical doctors or health operatives. So we need to ensure and to reduce the number of those who are migrating, who are leaving this country on medical purposes. That's one area I really like. And the health facilities, the hospitals across the country must be developed. Yes, a few states have been able to participate in improve the primary health centers, but we need more. Very few states. We know Lagos has quite a number, but a lot of states have not been able to expand on that. So another critical part for the president-elect is to ensure he's able to get the governors to work. Many of the governors have been, they have this lackadaisical attitude. They just go pick up the monthly allocation and they're fine.
Yes.
He must be able to help them see what he did in Lagos, where you have to do the work. You have to see what you can do to increase revenue.
How does he do that?
You have to connect with people.
How will he do that? Governors from, exactly.
In the federal system like that, and you know,
it's about the bridge. Sometimes the kind of leadership actually Buhari was. He's the kind of that he trusts you to do your work. He's not one going to be imposing. Yeah. So, but the kind of person Asiwaju seems to be, the president-elect, is the kind of person that can actually be that bridge between helping you, coaching you, helping you and mentoring you on how to develop your state.
Maybe he can't be the example.
Yes.
But there's only so much he can do.
So let us
across party lines, before you start to hear, is domineering, is controlling of us. Some states, when it was the Fashola administration, started to set him as the standards that they were following. So you saw El Rufai coming, I'll do the Fashola standard. And you know, in his state, he fell out with his people. So state governors must look within, look at the nature, practices and ways of their people and govern them right. But when it comes to revenue generation, this is a general rule. Every governor should start to find means to raise money and prioritize the problems of their people. It's not that, you know, the usual fake allocations will come in. He cannot control what you do with it. But when you go back, the president must do what Buhari did at the end of his tenure, call out governors for what they received and how they...
And Nima, you know what you have just said is quite interesting, because he, Asiwaju, is a real-life example of a governor who had to do that.
Yes.
I mean, during his tenure, he had to raise revenue for Lagos. It seemed like the federal and the state at that time were not, were at loggerheads, and he had to take that independent move to develop his state. And so I guess it's easier to be able to express that to governors that are coming. If you come with excuses, I've done it, it can be done. And if you want me, I can show you how it can be done.
Yeah.
Is it possible that we say that for you to put the resources together, for instance, we've been talking about medical tourism, you need to show examples, you need to use the medical facilities. So if the different hospitals know that their leaders are going to be using these facilities, the MDs that run the hospitals, medical directors will equip the hospitals. They will put everything in place because they are expecting that a governor can work in one day, the president can work in one day for these services. And this will also keep the money within, because we spend a lot of money outside going for treatment. So if we I think it was Nima that was saying yesterday, grow Nigeria, eat Nigeria. It must start from leadership. We should see that example. Oh, he uses this hospital. Okay, why do I want to travel to go and get this medical care? And also for education. Some of these things is because most of the problems we have is because the leaders are not in tune with the problems of the people, because they do not experience it. So we want a leader now that would experience, to say, I have gone to this place. I know I've passed this road. I know the potholes you are talking about is going to be fixed. That will bring more trust in the system.
Finally, ladies, as ladies, gender equality, gender parity, and this is March also, as we know, is the month for women. We want to see more women in places. We want to see more strong women. We have capable women, so it's not as if we're calling for just because we're women. We want to see capable women doing work, representing the government and representing their people at different cadres. So
I actually am looking forward. One of the things I'm looking forward in this new administration is the cabinet members and the kinds of people that he's able to bring together. You know, we saw in Lagos how he was able to bring different people for different tribes, different experiences to come together to be part of the executive team. So I'm hoping he will do the same thing also in the federal level, where he's speaking from different religions, different ethnic groups, and he's able to work with everybody and draw them, because he has already said, extended a hand of friendship to all the other parties. And I'm really hoping that this is an opportunity for him to show that he is the president of all Nigerians. You voted or you do not vote. You want him or you don't want him. Either way, he's the president of all Nigerians. And I think that the cabinet members, and I also don't want him to take too long in releasing the names. I'm hoping between now and May 29th, they are working assiduously to get us a good name, so that from 29th of May, after he's been sworn in, work starts immediately.
He's already looking to form his cabinet before inauguration. So I think that's a positive. Yes. Because last time we waited 6 months.
I waited.
We waited.
Let us not dwell on the past.
And you know what? The time that I was hearing when the president-elect was talking, I think I saw a video recently where he was saying that he's a party man. He supports Buhari, but he's not Buhari. His own leadership style is different. So I am looking for, we need a fresh leadership style in Aso Rock. We need, yes, Buhari was a leader who believed, he had a sort of laissez-faire, but he was also believing that his people were doing their work. He wasn't the type that would pry. I'm hoping. He wasn't let you do your work.
Please,
but I'm hoping President-elect that he would, because those who have worked around him have said that this man, he pays attention to details. There's nothing you bring past him that he doesn't see. So I'm hoping that you bring that to bear, where every single commission, every single agency, know that this new president would ask you. So I'm looking forward to that.
He's always been, according to what I know from Lagos politics that I'm interested in, that he has always had an open door policy where his appointees are close to him. So they have access to him. So we don't want to hear that they kidnap people in Kaduna and it takes the president 4 days, 5 days to hear. That somebody just telling the president 5 days.
So I've been trying to see the president. I can't find him.
You cannot find him. So that, all those kind of narratives that stuff almost made me fall on the set of the show. When I take the front page, I'll be like, this thing that we have been talking for, you are just hearing, and you are not hearing.
Me too, I've just been told.
I've just been told. You know that we don't want that.
Yeah.
And I know that he's a reader, someone who's in the news as well. So we want to believe that as soon as it's breaking, you are in touch, in tune, in Bama, in as far as Meduguri, in the Chad Basin, anywhere anything is happening. In the east, in the Korokoro of Oka, Oka is town. I'm looking for the Ingbidi, the deep area. You know things that are happening as a president. You are not far apart from your people. And see, we are Nigerians. We don't want our president to be telling us things in the foreign media. It's not until you are interviewed in London that you deem it fit to address it.
When he was governor of Lagos State, he was actually very vocal. He was one of the governors that actually started engaging people. He would do press briefings. He would tell you what he's planning to do. So we hope that would continue, because many people always feel like,
his health system plan is what is working in Lagos. That's the truth. He started the plan with Nuruddin Olopopo was commissioner for health when this mother and child policy idea came up.
And has been adopted across the country.
He died, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
While before he saw the effect of it. But you know, this was somebody who had a plan that has survived over time. We want to see that kind of plan so that everybody is not going for medical treatment in Lagos, in Nigeria. Let other states have the replication of it. You know, now that you have taken Lagos to the national, you have become the president-elect of Nigeria. We want to see a reflection of what you were as governor, even better, a better reflection now, so that you're cutting across all the differences where people hated, where people didn't want, people didn't believe. You are breaking the norms, the beliefs of those people and surprising them with good things. It's important now that, you know, we see that growth and it replicates.
So there's a lot of interagency rivalry. We see police fighting army, we see army fighting this, fighting that. I think the president should try as much as possible to unite those agencies. They need to understand that they are working for the interest of the Nigerian people. The army should not be the enemies of the police should not be the enemies of FRSC, the FRSC should not be enemies of what's those other, LASMA and all of that. They must have clear-cut duties, and everybody must know where their boundaries stop. And if they have to come together to collaborate, they must show example that they are actually uniting it, because this is what some of these criminals and bandits see the loopholes, and that's where they come in. So there must be a uniting of the forces that protects the people.
But you have not mentioned one.
I quickly correct that. Popo was the CMD Lasos at the time.
Not commissioner.
Cash swap, monetary policy, the last few weeks.
Please, President-elect,
we need to
see our money back.
So, first of all, you know there are two sides to this conversation. I know Wike is of the opinion, see, I don't even like this monetary policy, she just go away. Some of us feel the monetary policy is okay, but there has to be a way that is done. So for me, I feel that I would like that we should allow the policy take a much more organic flow, which is over time would return the old one while we're using the new one. And please don't keep us cash strapped. People are still queuing up at ATMs. Banks are still, you know, transfers are still getting stuck. Reversals are still not doing. So please, I would like that to be one of the first things that we sort out. And then maybe our current president, maybe our current president can do something about it.
It can now be, you know, there will be a transition method.